Hello. Today I'm talking about something that maybe is seen as, I don't know if it's controversial, but definitely there will be differing opinions about this, which is great. We don't always all want to think the same, or the world would be very boring. But I'm talking about why I don't celebrate or acknowledge Halloween in my children's yoga classes. So I've been working with children for over 20 years now, over 20 years. And Halloween is obviously always seen as a very fun, I don't know if we can call it a festival, but definitely a fun time of the year. Children get to dress up, we play lots of games, lots of activities going on. And of course, trick-or-treating, that kind of thing. And I see definitely how it's fun. I participate in the fun for sure. But I also see for children and teenagers, it also can bring up a lot of fears, worries, terror. I mean, to be quite honest, that's kind of what Halloween is all about. And whilst it can seem very fun to be pretending that we're zombies in our children's yoga classes, or doing our vampire breathing or whatever it is also bringing up a lot of fear. And fears and worries are something we should speak to children about, getting them, encouraging them to share what their worries are and giving them some tips on how they can cope with them and overcome them, and how they can calm themselves down. But for me, I just feel like the festivities of Halloween are doing the exact opposite of what we're trying to do in a children's yoga class. So obviously in children's yoga, we are really working with the nervous system to try and shift them into rest and digest phase, right? Rest and digest mode. So we're working with the parasympathetic nervous system, stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system through yoga practices, breathing, mindfulness practices, so that we can help children to feel cool, calm, relaxed, restored, and so that their body can come to a place of homeostasis, of balance, so that everything can work, everything can function, the body can heal from whatever it needs to. Also, we're giving them mental and emotional regulation skills as well. Now, when we talk about something like Halloween, which is all about whatever, monsters, witches, spirits, ghosts, all of these things, that can feel very overstimulating. It can feel super exciting for children, and they might think it's very fun, but equally it brings up a lot of fear, terror, worries. Now, that might not come up as they're having a conversation, but it might come up as they're going to bed or during their sleep, as they're experiencing nightmares or struggling to get to sleep. So it's kind of going against everything we're trying to do through yoga, because it's shifting children into the fight or flight mode, so we're stimulating the sympathetic nervous system, which is all about being awake and alert and being hyper alert. And actually through yoga, we really want to give children those skills of how to go from overstimulated to understand how to self-regulate themselves. We want to shift them from hyper alert to relaxed, restored, and let the body heal. So it kind of doesn't really make sense to me. It never really has made sense. I don't think I've ever, not that I can think of, themed a class around Halloween, and I never encourage my teacher trainees to do so either. I totally see how fun it can be, but it doesn't make sense to me, as it doesn't fit with what we're trying to do through yoga. So absolutely, maybe you do a Halloween theme class that might be movement. Maybe you're bringing in some breathing techniques. But for me, Halloween and everything that surrounds it, the overstimulation and the horror and the terror of it all, does not fit with what we are trying to essentially achieve or share with children and teenagers through yoga and mindfulness. Now, if you were talking about, this time of year, it is often, depends where you are in the world, but it is all about, Halloween. Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, there's a scream mask, or there's a scary clown, or someone's talking about a Halloween party. So what we can do in our yoga classes with children is give them the tools on what they can use when they are at these, events and they feel scared. Because we've seen it, we've all seen it before. If you work with children, you've seen how they respond to something when they are scared, the plastic spider, and it really scares them, or someone wearing a mask. It's scary for them, and that's okay. It's totally normal. It's scary for a lot of us adults when we see that sometimes as well. So we can, through our kids yoga classes at this time of year, definitely give them the techniques to use when they see something that feels scary or brings up a lot of fear for them. And I think that's the most beneficial thing that we can do for children at this time of year, rather than kind of celebrating Halloween and doing, zombie breathing and walking like monsters. Why not give them tips and techniques and tools that they can use outside of the yoga class, so that when they are feeling super overstimulated at these Halloween parties, or they are feeling very fearful when they see something, whether it's an image about Halloween or a movie or something that's triggering them, then they have a breathing technique that they can go to, or a mantra, or a technique where they can self-regulate. So personally, again, this is just my opinion. I think it's great to hear other people's opinions, but this is how personally I would like to use this time to teach children really like the life skills, which is why we're teaching yoga and mindfulness. Otherwise, we'd just be teaching them fun games and movement, right? But we're not. We're trained to teach them yoga and mindfulness. And let's give them the life skills, so when they're out in the world and they are overstimulated by all these Halloween shenanigans, that they have the skills to be able to self-regulate, so that they can enjoy themselves, but equally they are not feeling this overwhelming sense of fear or this overstimulation. This time of year is also wonderful. It's all packed full of all sorts of wonderful festivals from all over the world. We have Diwali, we had Thanksgiving in North America, so in Canada and in the States as well. Obviously, it's coming up to like winter solstice. Well, we just had September autumn solstice, but in December we've got all sorts of winter festivals going on as well. So it is a very colorful time. It's a very culture rich time. It can be in your classes to celebrate other festivals as well. Thanksgiving, if you're working in an international community or you're working in North America, it's a really great topic to bring into your kids yoga classes. Of course, talking about gratitude is wonderful, goes hand in hand with yoga, as well as Diwali, which is the festival of light, which is just such a beautiful concept to share with children. Even if you're not going into the the cultural side of it, then you can still talk about the light and have a festival of light in your kids yoga class. So I would love to hear your opinion, and all good if you don't agree with me. I don't expect everybody to agree with me at all, but I would love to hear your opinion. Is Halloween something that you share with children, maybe teens, in your kids yoga classes? Or do you prefer to focus on something else in your kids yoga classes at this time of year? So leave a comment and let's have a nice open conversation about it. And as we all are practicing yoga here and teaching kids yoga, let's practice ahimsa as well. So any conversations, let's keep it nice and kind and compassionate. But yeah, leave a comment below and let me know. Are you a Halloween lover or are you choosing something else? All right, bye.